Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be testing out, I'm doing a full wear test on the new foundation from Revlon. It does look like this and is the Revlon Photo Ready Insta-Filter foundation. I've seen quite a few reviews on this and I know a lot of people out there kind of like this foundation, but they don't want to like it because it is pretty expensive. For the drugstore, this is $17. But you guys know Revlon kind of tends to have a little bit more higher priced things. I don't know why the brand does that. So I'm going to give this a try. I'm actually pretty excited. I've honestly never been able to find a Revlon foundation that I like, that works for me. So we'll see if this one does. So it comes with a little spongy thing on top of it. And I guess you're, supposed to use that to work it into your foundation, but I am not going to do that. I just need to figure out how do you get the product out of here. Kind of just stamping. Okay, so yeah, so you turn this and okay, so it shoots it shoots out of the little hole in the middle. So how do I make sure to get enough out? That's the question. I'm afraid to look at it when I'm turning it because I don't want it to like come flying out at me. So it's kind of coming out like really not in the best way. Oh, there we go. So now a ton of product's coming out. So make sure that you're kind of really messing with it a lot. I hope this isn't too light for me. Let's see, I got the shade 220 Natural Beige. So anyways, I have some product on the back of my hand. It is on the runnier side. It is not... it's not like a thicker foundation, but what I'm noticing actually on the back of my hand is that it is oxidizing. So the places that have fresh product are lighter than other places where it's had a little bit more time to sit on my skin, and it's darker. So like right here's lighter, but then all the rest of it's darker. So this might be a foundation that fully oxidizes on your face. Keep that in mind. I don't mind if it's going to do that. And I am a beauty sponge girl, so I'm going to go ahead and start applying this all over my face with the beauty sponge from L'Oreal. Now it's a bit light for me. It's got some coverage to it though, it's really nice. So this foundation definitely has really nice coverage. I'm really liking it so far. So as you can see, like this is one application compared to having nothing on my face here. Pretty nice coverage. Go Revlon. This does not have a smell to it, which I appreciate. I do not like foundations with smells. They tend to really irritate my eyes, and I just don't like it. It's going on really, really nicely. It's blending out beautifully with the sponge here. And I know that some people out there do prefer using a brush. It's all about preference. I don't like using brushes. It doesn't work well on my skin. I don't like the type of effect that it gives me, so I will always go in with a beauty sponge on my channel. Actually, a little bit of this product goes a long way, which I definitely appreciate. It's just so funny that the color is so light. Like it's in the 200s. This color is number 220, and it's really, really pale. So keep that in mind. You might need to deepen it up with some kind of a mixer, or make sure that you're really looking at the darker shades, because even though it did oxidize, it's still a really, really light foundation. So, alright guys, so that is the foundation fully on. Wow, on camera. On camera, I look so white. Oh my goodness. Okay, so in person, it's not this ghostly, I promise. It's probably just because of my lights. But yeah, it definitely is a little bit lighter than I would expect it to be, especially being the fact that, again, this is color number 220. I would think that it'd be a lot darker, more matching the color on the tube here, but as you can see, it's pretty light. So keep that in mind. You might have to get a foundation color that is 1 or even 2 shades above what you think it's going to be. And yeah, but first impressions, it's actually really, really nice. It's got great coverage to it. I don't see any kind of issues with like creasing or gathering quite yet. It feels nice and light. I don't feel like it's a heavy foundation. I don't really feel it on my skin. which of course I appreciate. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is finish up the whole rest of my face, fix this hair, and then I'll come back on and show you what my full face looks like. I'll talk to you about how other products worked on top of this foundation, and then we will go from there with the rest of our day and see how it lasts. Okay guys, welcome back. So as you can see, my full face is done, my hair is done. You guys never get to see my hair done. I never have time for it. But I did just film a video on how to get hair like this. So if you want to know how to get beautiful, wavy, almost like that beachy, effortless look, keep an eye out for that video. I will go ahead and link it down below. I feel like that video is going to come out way before this one does. So I will make sure to have the link here. And yeah, so this is what my face looks like. Everything went on top of the foundation beautifully. I didn't have any problems with concealer skipping or blending out. All of my powders looked really, really nice on top of it as well. So far I do actually really love this foundation. What I can say is that it is settling into, it's like super creepy, into my under eye area way more than any other foundation that I use does, and I don't like that. But as long as you kind of smoke out your lower lash line, you should be able to cover a lot of those lines that could be forming. So that's just kind of like one of the tips and tricks that I have to give you so that it really covers and cancels out anything that you can see under there. Something interesting about this, again, is the colors. There are actually a good range of colors. I'll go ahead and list how many. And again, it is $17. But this is the color 220. Now, I never buy something in the 200s because that's generally way too dark for somebody like me. But this is 220. It is natural beige, and it is still way too white for me. If you remember what it looked like when I first put it on, it's a very, very light foundation. So keep that in mind. You might have to go up quite a few more shades than you generally would. You might have to buy a shade that looks nothing like something you would generally buy, because it is lighter. I did make it work. I think that it looks fine. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. But I think that I was able to make everything blend and work together well, so it wasn't like a total loss. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you first buy it, you're going to have to spin the top quite a lot, or this is actually the bottom. You're going to have to spin the bottom quite a lot in order for the foundation to come out, and it will come out of the little hole right there. And the first couple times that it starts coming out, it's going to fly everywhere. So just keep that in mind. Don't like be staring at it waiting you're going to get it in your face, okay? So don't do that. But yeah, so far I'm actually really loving this foundation. I think it's beautiful. My skin looks nice and flawless. Everything went on top of it really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple more check-ins throughout the day. Hey guys, welcome back. So we're at about the 4-hour mark of having this foundation on. I have not blotted or touched up anywhere. What I'm noticing right now is that my face is looking pretty shiny. I know that maybe on camera it doesn't look quite as intense, but I'm going to walk you through. So forehead here, definitely shiny, and I'm going to, get really up close in here. Right in the eyebrow area, it's breaking up a little bit, as well as all in my nose right here. It's really, really breaking up. And I don't have problems like that with other foundations that I use, so this is not a good sign so far. Kind of all in all, oh yeah, and look, like the creasing under my eyes has gotten so much worse. So definitely has some downsides. All in all though, the foundation still looks really good in my opinion, but it's definitely starting to fall and not look quite as good as it did earlier. I'm having some issues with separation and oils peeking through. So what I'm going to do right now actually is just kind of go in and blot a little bit and see if that helps and how that's going to wear throughout the day, the rest of the day. So just a little bit of my NYX powder and just lightly with my big fluffy brush, I'm going to go in, soak up some of those oils and see what happens. Okay, so up close, it looks really makeup-y. Like you can definitely tell I've got makeup on. It's not that super flawless airbrushed look. Like, you can definitely see this foundation on the skin. Right now, I like the foundation, though it is not a long wearing foundation. I would not recommend wearing this if you have a lot of stuff to do during the day. So that's just kind of where we're at right now. I'm going to go ahead and do one more check-in right before I wash it all off and go to bed, and then we will kind of see how a longer period of time looks with this foundation on. So I'll be back. Hey guys, so as you can see, I'm at the end of the day. It is about 8 o'clock right now, so this foundation has been on for close to 7 hours, and I look terrible. Absolutely terrible. So I am shiny as all can be. And you guys saw that around 4 o'clock I did go ahead and blot everything. I went in with some of this, but I haven't touched it ever since. And yeah, so I'm shiny like crazy. Everything on my face has broken up, which is why my pores look so accentuated. The lines by my nose look terrible. Like, this is not a long-lasting foundation in my opinion. And that could just be because of what I used underneath it, like priming wise. But I do always use this one right here, which is from Soap and Glory. It's the One Heck of a Blot, and I've never had any issues with this. So what I can say right now is that I loved this foundation at the beginning. I thought it looked beautiful, and it actually wore quite well for the first like 2 or 3 hours, and I was all downhill from there. So I do recommend giving it a try. I think that I will try it again with a different primer and see if that helps. Again, keep in mind that the color range on here is a liar, okay? So you cannot get what color you normally think you would be and think that it's going to work, because they are on the lighter side. So you need to go up quite a few shades, and definitely try it with quite a few different primers before you decide whether you love or hate this foundation, because I do think that it is a very, very picky foundation. I think that it needs and wants a very particular primer, and nobody knows what that is when you purchase it. So try it with a couple of your favorites, go from there. I will keep trying it. I do want to see if I can make this work, because it looked so good in the beginning. And yeah, so that's just kind of my thoughts on it right now. Again, it is a little bit more on the expensive side, so whether you pick this up or not, I don't think that's that big of a deal. If you end up skipping it, you're going to be just fine. And yeah, so I need to go wash my face. I need to get this makeup off. I need to look like a normal human being again, because this is pretty bad. This is very, very bad. But, you know, while we're here, let's just see if we can fix it again. So I'm just going to take this. I'm actually going to take some of the Laura Mercier translucent powder and see if I can blot some of this away, and kind of just see how other stuff might layer on top of it when it looks this bad. I'm just going to go in with a very little bit. Yeah, so I mean, it eliminated like the shine. Here, I'll do half my face. Yeah. Oh no. No, there is no saving this foundation. When it starts to look bad, it just looks bad. So keep that in mind. Alright guys, so that's going to be the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you have tried this foundation and you know what primer works for it, definitely let me know. I would love to know what you know. I will give it a try. Maybe I will do a kind of wear test 2.0 on this foundation if somebody tells me what the heck I should use underneath it to make it look and stay looking good all day. But until then, I will see you guys next time.